Third round of the FIDE Women's Grand Prix 2023 in New Delhi. Is between Harika and Nana Zagnidze. Both of them are very good friends of each other. When Nana Zagnidze opened the game with 1d4 and Harika played the Slav, we were looking at maybe some kind of a fight between the two. But when Zagnidze took on d5 and we reached an exchange Slav position, it was clear that the game would end in a draw at some point. Harika is known for her solid play and she did exactly that, and the game ended in a draw in just 25 moves. Players repeated with queen b6, knight a4, and queen and knight jumped around to end in a draw. Which was very exciting was Zhu Jinner versus Polina Shuvalova. I want you to have a look at this position. Black's last move was bishop takes f7. What white played here was bishop to b7. Now the queen is attacked and you notice that the queen does not have too many squares to go to. Also, bishop takes f6, gf6 can ruin the pawn structure if you move the queen. So what did Shuvalova come up with? She played this move bishop d5, and what is very pretty about this position is that these two bishops are looking at each other. These two bishops are looking at each other. This bishop is attacking the queen. This bishop is attacking the queen. So it's a complete mess over the board. The position clarified within a few moves and the players later on agreed to a draw. Although black was a pawn down, she had enough counterplay to hold equality. The game between Humpy and Katrina Lagno was one of the most exciting games of this round. It was because Humpy is the current world number 2 and Lagno is the current world number 4. We reached a position from the Tarrasch defense, and over here Humpy pushed her pawn to e4. Maybe it was not required. She could have done some other move like maybe h3, maybe queen c2, but she decided to go concrete. After e4 takes and d5, it felt like Humpy had some good play. The idea was that if you play bishop f5, then after knight takes c4, white is clearly better. But Lagno here took on c3. If you take back, then the d5 pawn is hanging, so d takes e6 was played. But after bishop d2, queen d2 and knight e5, it was already clear that black was the one playing for the initiative. And after queen f4, queen d6, Humpy could not play bishop takes f6 because of knight f3 check, losing her queen. And so she played rook fd1, queen takes e6, bishop f6, queen f6, queen e4. But if you count the number of pawns, white is a pawn down and Humpy was in trouble, but she managed to defend accurately and somehow managed to hold the game to a draw here. The d3 pawn fell and the players agreed to a draw. The only decisive game of the round was Bibisara Asubayeva versus Nino Batsiashvili, and this one also looked like it was going towards a draw. If you look at this position, White's last move was pushing the pawn to f4, and although White is a pawn up, this pawn is pretty loose. At the same time, g6 f5 could really put the White king in danger. g6 would have been a nice move here, but instead Nino Batsiashvili quite inexplicably took the pawn on a4. This was a huge blunder, because after just simple knight c5, there was something that she had missed, because now the rooks are forked by the knight and there's no way to defend against it. After f6, rook e7, rook a5, knight d3, bishop d3, black was a complete exchange down and White managed to win. With this victory, Bibisara has managed to score 2 points out of 2 and is now in the lead. Goryachkina is also on 2 points, but she has had one walkover here, and she will be playing against Bibisara in the 4th round, which will be very exciting.